Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Allie. I have a lot of items around me that I'm going to be showing you, and they are all for the fun, tasteful Halloween decor that I'm going to be adding to my home. I say tasteful because I have two children, and they are 11 and 9, and they really love to celebrate Halloween. I've always actually loved to celebrate Halloween, but I don't get gory or do anything like too heavy or too much. I like to keep it tasteful. I would even almost say elegant Halloween in a lot of ways, but definitely keeping the fun there, bringing that fun Halloween spirit into my home. So if you like similar things like this, stay tuned. I think that you won't be disappointed. Then in my next video, I'll show you exactly how I styled them and give you a lot of even more fun ideas. If you like videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you're getting notified every time I upload a new video. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I'm gonna start with the store Ross. Ross is one of those stores that I feel like sometimes I forget about, but you don't wanna miss Ross because they actually have a lot of really cool finds. The first item that I picked up are these really cool, beautiful pillar candle holders. They were only $7.99 each. They feel Halloween, and I can make them Halloween. I can add in like Spanish moss to the bottom. I can add in like maybe Halloween candles to the top of them and make them feel Halloween. But then I can also change them out for Christmas and dress them up with like a pretty ribbon over here and Christmas candles. So I love the versatility of them, and you might be able to see they have like a nice hammered sort of detail. And I like the shape here. I like how it's skinnier on the bottom and then it gets thicker on the top. Overall, these were a really cool find. I couldn't believe that they were only $7.99. So of course I picked up both of them. When you're shopping, try to remember that you can dress things up for a season. And I love doing that because then that means that it's less for me to have to store later. So it's not like strictly Halloween. I have plenty of things that are strictly Halloween, but I also like to work in really versatile pieces like these guys right here that I can make them into whatever season we're in. The second really cool item that I found at Ross that I was super excited about is this guy right here. I like that it is just a nice like smoky kind of glass feel. I think that I might style him on my console table, maybe on top of like a stack of books with some like creepy Spanish moss around him. And I have a battery operated candle here. So what I will probably do is I think I'm going to insert the candle in the bottom. So this will light him up at night and actually look really, really cool. I like that it brings in the spirit of Halloween, but again, it's not like super gory or anything like that. And I love the tone of the smoked glass. This next group of items I purchased a couple of years ago, and I will show you, I'll plug in a video of what they look like when they're all set up. They're very cool. They are these floating taper candle holders. You can see that these come with like a fishing wire attached to them. And what I used last year is I did command strips on my ceiling, and I just attached these to the hooks on the command strips. You put batteries inside of it, and it comes with this wand right here. So they're pretty easy to use. Mine came threaded already. Some of them you do have to thread, so that part may be a little bit tedious, but overall the effect is really cool. I have 10 of these, and when you put them across like a hallway or something, or even hang them from a chandelier, they give a really cool effect, nice, creepy, but perfect for Halloween. This next group of items I'm about to show you are some of my absolute favorite. I love them. Now, I have been collecting these over the years, so full disclosure, I did not buy all this year. I have been slowly over, I would say the past 5 years or so, collecting these, and I checked for you, I linked for you, they are still available. So the first thing I'm gonna show you are these really cool eyeballs. So I found these at a store called Grandin Road. They're online. I don't know if they have any in-person stores, but they are online. And they came in a catalog, and I had to have them because they are so cool. So they come in 2 or 3 different sizes, and sorry about the glare. They come in about 2 or 3 different sizes, and I really just love the detail in the eye. Look at that shading and all the creepiness sort of around it. It just looks like very old antique paper with these creepy eyes coming through them. 8 of them come in a package, so you have a good amount to work with. I've styled these in a few different ways. I've put them in a bowl with some moss coming out of the bowl, maybe some like worms, depending on how creepy you want to get with it. I've also put them into a glass cloche. Now I did this, I believe last year on our mantle, where I put them in a glass cloche, but I also mixed in some Spanish moss. So you had a tall glass cloche, which I'll show you, loaded with Spanish moss and just these sort of eyeballs like creeping out in every direction. And it was really cool. It was really fun. And it totally made my living room feel festive, and my kids loved it. And this was just a really cool item. The second thing I bought that also came from Grandin Road is this creepy hand. When you push a button, it can actually walk around. So you can put it on the floor. So let's see, hold on. It's very creepy. It's very funny to have in your house walking around. 2 years ago for Halloween, my family, we were the Addams family for Halloween. So naturally I was Morticia, my daughter was Wednesday, my son was a mixture of Pugsley and Cousin It, and my husband was Gomez. And because the hand is a big part of the Addams family, we actually used this as part of our Halloween costume. My husband had this sort of on his shoulder all night, and it was hilarious. And it was the perfect touch. Honestly, I feel like this completed the whole costume. But even without going to a Halloween party, just having this in the house, sometimes I'll be in the kitchen cooking, my son will put it on the counter and turn it on, and it'll creepy crawl across. Just a really cool, fun thing to have in the house. I also purchased from Grandin Road several years ago. These are wall sconces. So these actually hang like this, like you would put them on the wall, they hang like this, and they come with these hanging lanterns. So what you do is you would mount this on the wall, and then you would take this and sort of like drape it around and just have it hanging so it kind of looks like something's reaching out of your wall, and you have a candle in it so it's creepy at night. After I bought this, honestly, I decided that I didn't want to put holes in the wall for Halloween. And I haven't tried yet with a command strip. I was a little nervous to use a command strip for it just because I didn't know if the weight of the candle holder and the candle in it would be too much. And maybe I'll try that this year, I have to see. But what I did do in years past is I worked these into my console table first, and then when we hosted a Halloween party, they looked really cool worked into my tablescape. So I did that by standing them up like this instead. So it looked like kind of like an arm was coming out of the table. So I stood it up like this. I wrapped the string around it like this and stuck a candle in it. So it still had the same effect. It looked really cool. It was just on a table instead of coming out of the wall. Since they come in a set of two, you can do that like I did last year on the table, where one of them was set on the table and another one I propped up a little bit with some plates and bowls. So that kind of gave it a little bit more dimension and didn't have them on the same level looking identical. It was more creepy because one was a little higher than the other. Again, it's Halloween, so nothing needs to be perfect or very meticulous. Just sort of have fun with it and work with different levels, different depths. But overall, a really cool set. Another item I have from Grandin Road, again, they always get me Grandin Road, but this is one that my son loved and I picked it up. Last year I styled it on my coffee bar for Halloween, so I might work it into there. It is this creepy dragon's eye book. Now, I have it off right now. I'm going to turn it on in a second and show you what it does. It's motion censored. So honestly, I didn't leave it on all season last year because it would scare me sometimes, but I would just put it somewhere, and then if it picks up on motion in front of it, I'll show you in just a second, the eye opens up and it makes like a monster noise coming out of it. So I prepared you. If you don't want to hear it, you can fast forward, but I'll show you what it sounds like. So I'm going to make motion. There we go. So if you enjoy things yelling at you when you walk by them, you might want to pick up this item. But it is really cool. I turned it off again so it won't go off anymore. But it's really cool because look at the detail on it. This is like a book. It's supposed to look like a possessed book or something. And these are the scales and things on it. It feels like a dragon's eye. Even the spine of the book has cool detail on it. It's a nice substantial piece, and I think it's really cool, especially if you're having a party or something like that where you won't mind the noise because there's other noise going on. You just want to maybe freak out your guests when they go to your bathroom or go to make a cup of coffee or pour a glass of wine or something. But very cool item, does not disappoint, and I can't wait to use it in our Halloween decor. I went to Hobby Lobby. Now they don't do Halloween decor there per se, but they have items there that you can pick up that you can work into a Halloween like table arrangement or console table styling or even up on a mantle. And one of those things is this Spanish moss garland. You can buy Spanish moss in a bag, and I certainly do that. And I use it in different places when I need small pieces, but it can get messy. Whereas this is a nice garland. It's sort of like one and done for you, and it's really, really easy to work with. It's pretty big, it's nice and full. And if I really wanted to, I still could cut pieces off of it if I needed it for a specific area or like a little pop of something in a powder room or in a smaller area. But really, I like that I can use this and I can sort of drape this around anywhere that I need it. A second garland that I also picked up from Hobby Lobby is this really cool fern garland. This is more of like a ashy kind of very muted, very pale green color. If I took a piece of black gauze and spread it on my dining table, I could then layer in this on top of it and then like work in some candle holders and things that are very Halloween feeling. And the green will really give it a nice base. It'll make it feel nice and full and it'll ground things. So again, something that's not necessarily Halloween, but that you can pick up and fill out your Halloween tablescape or just decor in general. Now moving on to Home Goods. One of the things that I had always wanted that I found at Home Goods are these sort of books right here. Now these are just like spooky books. They're not really books. They're actually like little boxes. So I thought that if I stack these two and sort of put them like this, a little bit off center, then I could put something on top of it. Like let's say that glass skull that I showed you that I found at Ross, I can maybe put that on top of it and just make like a really cool Halloween vignette that is kind of classy. It's a little bit more elegant, but it gives you that creepy vibe. It's got that dark vibe. Even if I stand them up like this and just stack them on a console table, or I can lay these on a coffee table and I can use these to hold my remotes or coasters or things like that. Just using decor in a functional way is something that I always appreciate. So a lot of times when you're decorating, you want to think about scale. You may have a large area, like a large coffee table, and you want to take up space. So in that case, you would lay them flat. All right, so now we're getting into the cool stuff that I found at Dollar Tree. The first thing I picked up while I was there are these sets of candle holders, these taper candle holders. Now I picked up 4 of them. So these come in like all different sizes. There are a few different heights. And I thought these would be really cool because again, using them on a tablescape, like spacing them out a little bit, staggering them like one in front of the other. I can't wait to show you what I do with these. I have a plan, but picking up items like this from the dollar store are $1.25. They're so inexpensive. And this is something that can translate into the Christmas season as well. I could work it into a Thanksgiving tablescape. So I really love picking up things that I feel can do double duty around other seasons. I found these pillar candles there. Now this one, I took one out of its packaging so that you could see it better. This is like a really cool snake pattern. It has like nice gold detail. I was actually really surprised at the detail that I found in it. There's so much texture here. You can see the scales, which I think is creepy, but I like that it's gold because again, it's done in like an elegant kind of way. These were $5 each. Now, I probably won't light these, but if you did light these, this is where it can get creepier. If you do light them, these are the bleeding candles. So they will actually, the wax that pours out from them is red. I did this once at a Halloween party that we threw several years ago before we had kids. I had this really cool black candelabra and I put bleeding taper candle holders in them and it did look very cool. It caused a mess. So again, I don't know that I will actually light these candles, but I bought them because in my mind, I thought I could pair them with the candle holders I showed you before from Ross. I thought these would look really cool there and I can leave them just like this. I think they look great. But if I wanted to break up the blacks, since I'm putting black on black here, I can take a few pieces from that Spanish moss garland and sort of make a bed of Spanish moss first and then place this on top of it. And that would just bring it out a little bit more. Another really cool thing I found at the dollar store at Dollar Tree is this Black Cat Apothecary tray. I like the size of it. I like that it has handles. And I thought that I could either, lay this flat somewhere on my island or something, or I could prop it up like this and use it as a backdrop in the backsplash of my kitchen, let's say, or even on my console table, leaning it up like this. Just brings a nice, fun Halloween touch in a non-creepy way. So the dollar store, as I mentioned earlier, is a really great place to find those fill-in types of items. So I picked up this black gauze here, and this is just a really cool thing. You can drape black gauze over your couch. You can drape it over a mantle. You can take it and drape it over a mirror above your console table. The fun part about Halloween that I love so much is that nothing needs to be perfect. Nothing needs to be meticulous. You can really just sort of let it fly and let things land where they land. This creepy cloth really does the work for you because it's tattered and it's supposed to look tattered. It's supposed to look not well placed. They also had white They had gray and they had black. And the second fill-in type item that I found there that they had a ton of were these little spiders. So these are creepy. I like that they have the orange on them so that they'll stand out if I set them up somewhere amongst other like black Halloween type things. But picking up a few of these, and even if you're not a big Halloween person, and let's say that you just have like a nice fall arrangement, but you want to get into the season a little bit, maybe for your kids or just to sort of bring in the season in a very subtle way, you can just add a couple of these guys to your already existing arrangement and it will creep it up just enough to make it feel like Halloween. So these next items I'm sharing with you, I actually picked up at Kirkland, and I happened to just be walking in there and they were having a sale that day. So they are these really cool taper candle holders. And I thought that these would look really nice, sort of scattered amongst my candle holders that I found from the dollar store because they're different and it would be of different heights and also a different feel. So these are wooden, and I like that they're all sort of different. They remind me of like balusters on a staircase. These were on sale for $3 each, $3.97 each at Kirkland. And they may still be on sale. I'm going to link for you whatever I can. And of course, whatever I can't, I'll find similar items. But these are, again, something really nice that you can use for Halloween and make them work for Halloween, but then also transition them to Christmas. So my thought process is I'm going to make an arrangement on my dining table. I'm going to use maybe some black gauze, and then I'm going to add a layer of Spanish moss garland, or maybe that other garland I showed you earlier. And then I'll sort of arrange these with the Dollar Tree candle holders and some taper candles. And then to give things another layer, I also found these really cool stems at Kirkland. They are a really deep purple, and I probably wouldn't have picked these up for my normal decor, but I thought these would look really nice mixed in with Halloween. I feel like purple and black is a really good palette for Halloween, especially when I ground it with the green. I have two of them. These were also on sale for 50% off that day. And I don't know if I'm going to keep them like this and sort of just tuck them in side to side, or I might also take the pieces off of them and then just sort of tuck these pieces into the arrangement wherever I feel like I need a pop of color, but in a Halloween way. The last thing I'm going to share with you guys today that I actually found at home, and they are these skull taper candle holders. So these are really cool, and I took one out of its packaging so that you can see it. I like that it has that bronze look. I always like to have things really natural, neutral looking, and then give it a pop of some sort of metallic, and this fit the bill. So these I thought would be really nice. Again, using all those different taper candle holders that I have, like these guys right here and the ones from the dollar store, and just layering these in. I think that when you can add a metallic, it tends to level it up. It tends to bring a level of elegance to the theme. These are, in my opinion, a little bit more muted Halloween. They're tasteful. They're not too much. They have the element of the skull, yes, but they're not like over the top in your face gory or anything like that. However, you have the option because they are also the bleeding taper candles. So we talked about those earlier. I think that if you put these and we're having a party or something and you really sort of wanted to take it up a notch and make things a little bit extra gory, bring in the mood of Halloween, then you can actually light these and they will, the interior wax will melt red. It looks super creepy, very cool, but you don't have to do that. You can keep it elegant, you can keep it tasteful, and you can just put these amongst your tablescape and have them just look like a pretty Halloween. So that's it for today, you guys. I really hope that you liked seeing my ideas. I hope that you found them helpful. I hope that it gets you in the mood to decorate for Halloween. And I hope that I've shown you enough to work into your own Halloween tablescape or just Halloween decor in general. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. Tell me what your favorite item was that I've shown you today. Make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. This way you'll get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, I'm so appreciative of you all. I hope that you know that. I love reading your comments. I try to respond to them all. It makes me so happy, and I love that I'm able to do this and that I've been able to help a lot of you and inspire you in your own home decor. So stay tuned for more seasonal content. Thank you guys again so much for being here, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.